What's good, y'all? Millrose Games is done. It's capped off. This was very distance heavy. We got the world records in the 3K. We had a world record in the mile. We saw a lot of the crazy performances in the distances. But of course, I gotta talk about the sprints. Gotta show some love to the sprints and the hurdles that went down here in New York City. It's my hometown, so had to show up. But first performance that I really am proud of is Jacious Sears in the 60-meter dash. 7.02 seconds to take down names like Celera Barnes, like Makai Briscoe, like Aaliyah Hobbs, like Lisa Ray, who just came off a high school record of 7.13 earlier in the day. Jacious Sears is getting very consistent. She, of course, won her meet out in Clemson a couple weeks back. She then followed that up at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. And you can say, okay, those fields haven't been deep, this, that, whatever. Even this Millrose Games field was not that deep. But for her to run 7.02, a world-leading performance, a personal best, this puts Jacious Sears in very good company when we're actually looking forward in the 2025 season. And I got a chance to speak with her, and she was low-key speechless. She didn't even know what to say.
I am so, I can't even really talk. I'm so excited for the rest of the season, honestly, yeah.
Was there any, surprise when you crossed the line first and saw the time? What was that like?
I mean, my coaches, Coach Ross, Coach Carter, they're preparing me to run races under pressure. But yeah, of course I was a little surprised, yeah.
Now, we saw her run 10.77 last year, and she actually got injured at SEC, so wasn't able to continue to NCAAs and even Olympic trials. I actually got a chance to speak with Dwayne Ross, her coach at Tennessee, and he actually said that she was healthy for Olympic trials, but he wanted her to kind of step back, not rush into things. Here's a clip.
Plan started last season when she got injured. She was healthy. We could have came back and we could have ran the trials. But I made a decision to take our time, really get healthy, and attack this year here. Because it's about her career, not just that one race. So I really had to make that decision, and she agreed. She's just a sweet young person that puts her total faith and trust in whoever is guiding her. And we just made that decision to say, hey, we're not going to run the Olympic trials. We're going to take this summer to get healthy, and that way we'll just own indoors and run right out of indoors right into outdoors.
So Dwayne Ross, he said that she was ready, but I think that him, having her wait a little bit, get ready to become a pro, get ready to transition and fully heal, it's really paying off right now. Jacious said that she's going to the USA Championships in a couple weeks, going to be back here in New York City. She also wants to target the World Indoor Championships. Right now, you can argue that she's in the driver's seat for the gold medal. You're talking about athletes like a Julian Alfred. She's not running indoors, and some other top women are probably not going to be running the indoor season. That might make it a good opening for Jacious Sears to take the gold medal. Now, am I saying that she's definitely going to get gold? I don't know about all that yet, but 7.02, she's on a very good path. So huge shout outs to Jacious Sears. And again, shout out to Lisa Ray, who ran 7.13 in the, not the heats, but the high school 60-meter dash to get the high school record. They then entered her in the 60-meter race for the women's, the professional race. They asked her, yo, do you want to run this 60-meter race in the pros? And then, she took up the challenge, ran 7.21. Very strong performance. She moved to number 3 all time for Trinidad and Tobago, and she's still only in high school. So shout out to Lisa Ray. Next up, the women's 60-meter hurdles. Now, this was my race of the meet, entering the competition, of course. And Masai Russell, she is proving that, I am an Olympic champion. I want to make sure that I am winning these races against the best women in the world, and she did exactly that. 7.76 seconds, world-leading performance, just 100th of a second off her personal best of 7.75, which she ran back in 2023 when she was at Kentucky while she was still in the NCAA. She takes down Grace Stark, who runs 7.82. Very strong and consistent performance by Grace Stark, who ran 7.81 just behind Masai Russell last weekend in New Balance. And then you had Devin Charlton, 7.83, season's best for her. Now, Masai, she is racking up these wins. She is going, of course, undefeated so far this year. She said that she's going to be going to USA Indoor Champs, but she's not going to World Indoors. Why? World Indoors, all the way out in China, it's going to be too close to Grand Slam Track, which is just 2 weeks after World Indoors.
No, not this year. So I'm going to do US Championships. That'll be my last indoor season just because it's so close. US, I'm talking about US. World Indoors is very close to the first Grand Slam. So for me personally, the goal is September and to do really great in September. So for me, I just want to focus on getting ready for outdoor instead of focusing on the 60 hurdles. So I'm going to do 2 more indoor races, which would be at the World US Indoor, all these different names get to me. The US Indoor, and then I'll get ready for outdoor, and hopefully I'll see some really fast, great times there too.
There you go. So no point of doing that. She just wants to make sure she gets some races in, gets some wins in, and then carries things over to outdoors to be able to get a title. She wants to make sure that she's not a quote-unquote fluke Olympic champion. Not to say she is in any capacity, but a lot of people looked at it and said, okay, you won Olympic trials, okay, you won Olympic games, but you didn't have as good of a season outside of the major championships. She wants to prove, nah, I'm going undefeated indoors, I'm gonna go outdoors, and I'm gonna be consistent as well. She wants to make sure that she continues that trend. So shout out to Masai Russell. We did see Akira Nugent. She unfortunately had a false start. She ran under protest. You know, she was DQ'd eventually, but you know, hopefully she's able to kind of get things a little bit together. She is one of the greatest of all time when talking about the indoor 60-meter hurdles and outdoors in the 100-meter hurdles. But last weekend, we did see her with that little bit of a flinch. They, you know, didn't call a DQ or anything like that. But let's see if she's able to kind of pick things back up. I don't know if she's going to do like a full indoor season, but we'll see how that kind of progresses. After that, the men's 60-meter hurdles. Coming into this race, I wasn't super hyped for this race because it didn't have, you know, quote-unquote top names. Shout out to Freddie Crittenden, shout out to Cordell Tin, shout out to all these guys. But Dylan Beard pulled off the win, and it's not even an upset because he won last year. 7.38 seconds for a personal best, a world lead, a meet record, all those accolades. That moves him to number 11 all-time indoors in the 60-meter hurdles, which is a massive performance for someone who is quote-unquote unsponsored. Right now, he is sponsored by Walmart. He is still sponsored by Walmart. I spoke to him after the race, and he said, yo, if anything, you know, I'm open to all sponsors.
And you said that you're not currently at least working at Walmart because of the
just because, you know, traveling, and I was out the country like 2 weeks ago. It's just you know, it's already a lot on the body to, you know, try to travel that far out and then come back and work. So taking a little break there, get myself together. Main goal right now, run fast, try to make the world indoor team. You know, just keep building off of today. Honestly, it's kind of hard to say. No, not hard to say. I'm open to anything. If I'm being honest, I'm open. I would love more sponsorships, more opportunities to, you know, rep brands. But, you know, the goal right now is to be on the track, do what I just did, do it on a higher level, do it at a faster level. So definitely open to being with more sponsorships, more opportunities to, you know, share what I can and tell my story even better.
Yes, he's not working at Walmart right now because he's traveling, he's competing, but he still has the job at Walmart, and they got the sponsor on his chest. So I don't know, we gonna see, but that is an amazing performance for Dylan Beard. He has been very consistent. Yes, he didn't make the Olympic team last year. He had a decent kind of outdoor season, but I'm excited to see how this kind of pulls through the rest of the indoor season. Can he make the U.S. Team to the World Indoors? Can he go to the World Indoors and potentially get a medal? Will that garner him a sponsor? I would love to see it. But Dylan Beard, one of my favorite athletes, such a humble guy. Shout out to Dylan Beard and what he did here, getting the win at Millrose. Now, after that, men's 60-meter dash. This was another kind of upset. First off, Marcel Jacobs, he of course ran at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix last weekend. He was supposed to be running here in New York City, but I think a day or two ago, he actually got sick. There was a couple people who were getting sick between Marcel Jacobs. He also had Josh Kerr pull out the mile. So Marcel Jacobs unfortunately did not line up here, but you still did have Trayvon Bromell. And I think most people would have predicted Trayvon to take the win very comfortably here, but he was upset by Marcellus Moore, 6.56 seconds to equal his personal best. Now, Marcellus Moore is definitely not one of the more widely known guys in terms of the 60-meter dash. He definitely doesn't have like as strong of a name. And even to that point, he was only added into the 60-meter dash field, I think he said on like Tuesday or something like that. Here's a clip on the interview that I had with him.
Am I right that I heard you just got added to the field like a day or so ago?
I got added on Tuesday. Been having some big races. Well, I was running locally in Texas at Houston A&M, and just been winning races. Got the invite on Tuesday, so I'm excited.
What was that feeling like when you got the call that like, okay, let's get you in this Millrose 60?
Yeah, Millrose has been a big goal for me to get to. Obviously, it's not the end all be all, but I was excited to be here, and yeah.
So it shows that, yo, he came into the race kind of last minute and he pulled off the upset. Yes, over Trayvon Bromell, who ran 6.59. I spoke to Trayvon during the press conference a couple days ago, and he said, yo, I've been consistent. I've been running 6.6s. I've been coming back from injury. I'm just finally getting my body right after, you know, moving to Texas, getting an actual therapist to, you know, work on my body to make sure I'm healthy. But so for him to run 6.59, I think that's a good performance for Trayvon, and I spoke to him after the race as well.
The biggest thing that I've seen from the replay is that my second half of the race could have been better, but I was happy with my first half. Like I've told the media, a lot of the media outlets in the other races, I felt like my position in the blocks didn't set me up for a better second half, but this race I felt better coming through the 20-30 meter mark, and now it's just all about working on those things that I can finish through that 60, and even when we get outdoors, finish through the whole 100. So the biggest thing that I can take away is now we got to work on top end and holding that speed and endurance that we build up. I can feel myself like the last 20 meters, like, okay, this is stuff that we need to work on. Even before the race, my coach was like, hey, we got to get some 80 meter runs, 90 meter runs, 100 meter runs in at a fast rep at high velocity, because that's something I couldn't work on over the week. So we've been doing a lot of over distance stuff, which obviously doesn't help with prepping faster races. So I feel like these next 2 weeks, like he already said before the race, like we're gonna hit it hard. Like we're gonna get to it, and come USA, we're gonna be ready.
So between Trayvon, who's of course eyeing the World Indoor Championships, you have Marcellus Moore. He's definitely going to be looking to see if he can qualify for the USA team to World Indoors. You have PJ Austin. He ran 6.61, very consistent during the indoor season. Listen, the indoors is not going to be super hyped up. You don't have Christian Coleman. You don't have Noah Lyles. None of these guys are running, but between Trayvon and a couple other guys, Marcel Jacobs, he's going to Europeans. Who knows if he's going to go to World Indoors. It's going to be a very good indoor season when talking about the men's 60-meter dash, despite the names who are missing. So last shout out, just want to give one to Alexis Holmes. She opened up her season here running 51.21 seconds. Nothing too crazy in the grand scheme of things when talking about the time or the performance, but she did say that she is eyeing the gold medal at the World Indoor Championships this year.
Ooh, definitely get some more medals. I'm going for the gold this year at Indoor World. So yeah, that's the goal. Have fun too, of course. That's the biggest thing.
Last year in Glasgow, she got the bronze medal behind Femke Bol and Lieke Klaver. Femke Bol already said that she's not running the indoor season. She'll run the relays at the European Championships, but nothing individual. Lieke Klaver, she's already run very fast this year. She might be going to the World Indoor Championships. I suspect that she will try and get the gold medal. But Alexis Holmes, again, bronze medal last year indoors, coming off a very successful 2024 season. She might be one to challenge for the gold. Who knows? We gonna see. But let me know what you think about the Millrose Games, the sprints and the hurdles. Yes, I know. The distances are, of course, a highlight of the meet here. The mile world record, the 3K world record, all across the board. But I always want to shout out the sprints and the hurdles. These were some great performances that we should not take lightly. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Be back again next time. Appreciate y'all.